Hello, all my bottoms up babes. This is your soul master, Carrie, taking the messiness in life, mixing it up, finding the message, and serving it to you straight. Because healing isn't linear, it's layered, and sometimes the breakdown is just the beginning of your breakthrough. Here, we honor the ache, speak the life into silence, and give the broken pieces a place to belong. This is the space where truth meets tenderness, where your story is sacred and your scars are seen. So breathe deep, open up, listen up, and let the healing begin. Hello, all my bottoms up babes. This is your soul master, Carrie, meeting you every Monday and Thursday, talking about the messiness in life, shaking it up, finding a message, and serving it to you straight. Today, I want to talk to you about loneliness. Is it really loneliness? Is it loneliness of your soul? Or maybe are you finally becoming whole? It's not loneliness of your soul. It's silence, to listen inside yourself of how to finally love yourself fully and become whole. Today, we're going to step into the sacred space where silence isn't emptiness. It's guidance. It's healing. It's the birthplace of loving yourself fully. Many of us feel loneliness with change. Changes like after experiencing a breakup or a divorce or a loss, or really even any type of commitment or relation that you had and it's no longer here. And it's not necessarily loneliness, it's just emptiness, and you just feel lost. And that is because we are creatures of habit and we are used to doing things in habitual orders. So when change comes, it does cause commotion and chaos and confusion. But the truth is, God will always reject whatever it is to protect you. You're not alone. You're meant to feel the abandonment, and that's because it's actually an invitation to solitude. It's not loneliness, it's finding yourself. It's removing chaos and confusion and commotion and craziness and finding peace, awareness, awakening to your true authenticity. When we're wrapped up in commotion, that's when we are not in a sense of clarity. That's when we are easily manipulated. When we don't see clearly, we cannot understand truth. In silence, you could finally hear yourself. You could talk to yourself. You could talk within yourself. You can think, and you're not in the chaos and causing your mind to veer other places to find your true authenticity. And that's what loneliness is. It's solitude. It's when you practice mindfulness. It's the meaning and the purpose and not manipulation and pain. Many of you have heard me talk about my narcissistic, abusive ex, and anyone that has truly been in a narcissistic relationship, I know that word is used way too frequently, but those who have really truthfully undergone a narcissistic relationship know that these people are literally the devil. Their eyes turn black. My ex used to say, I see red, when he would get into his rages of anger. And you see, what they do is they cause manipulation. They cause chaos, confusion, and they do this because this way then they can take advantage of you. So while you're over here trying to show empathy and state, the confusion of being blamed for whatever it is that they're projecting on you, you're caught in chaos and confusion, and you're not focusing on the fact that they're manipulating you and taking advantage of you on the opposite end. And that is why God will remove things from you, because he knows what goes on behind the scenes. He knows where your heart is and what is truthful and what is not. And a lot of things, we freak out about for being rejected from us. And the truth is, it's protecting us. Possibly the loneliness and the silence isn't given to you because of a person. Possibly it's given to you because it's time that you need to dig deep and find your purpose. Seek inside of you things that need to be healed. Maybe it's past trauma. Maybe it's a mother or father wound. Maybe it's a wound that someone caused that you never really even acknowledged, but it weighs heavy on you, and that's why you need to confront it. There are many out there that seek themselves as just a provider and a protector. But your worth is not defined by what you do. It's defined of who you are. Do you know your purpose? It's not performance. It's not based on performance. It's not just to provide for everyone and not yourself. Silence is often given for you to realize, to stop walking around and suffering in silence, and to actually start acknowledging the love that is behind the grief that you were never allowed to grieve. You see, grief is another form of love. And if you at one time didn't love before whatever the situation was that took place, you wouldn't have never grieved. And a lot of us are told that we have to be strong, we have to be the soldier, we have to, stuff the feelings inside of us and not face them. But reality is that you have to face them. You have to face the trauma and the pain, because if you don't feel, you will never heal. It is okay to cry. Freedom is actually feeling. It's giving yourself the permission slip to feel. You are human. So you can't just sit there and act and be a robot and constantly providing and not seeking your own purpose, because that is what gives the emptiness and the loneliness inside of you. If you don't feel loved or appreciated or acknowledged, you're basically just here to be here. There's no purpose. There's no realization. And the truth is, there is a reason that you're here. You deserve recognition. Who is doing for you if you are doing for everyone else? It's time for you to sit in silence and seek that. Seek what needs to be given for you to feel whole as well. Along with time comes repetition. So many of us are out here just doing repetitious cycles that we lose ourselves. We begin to feel empty and lonely because we just seek perfection and constantly providing, that we lose our presence. We lose the present moment and the emotion in what we're doing. Even sometimes we don't even go to events and things because we're caught in the moment of being perfection and giving performance and giving what is expected of us, because we don't feel valued enough unless we're performing. And that's not true. You are enough. You are enough as a human being, and you're not a robot. You deserve to be loved and cared for just like every other human being in this world. It's time that maybe you are in silence so you can do the inner work and maybe heal things that you were never able to grieve over or acknowledge or feel. Put those behind you and move forward with purpose. Release the pain and stop living in a world of performing as if, again, like you're just some robot and you have no purpose here. Of course you're going to feel emptiness, and of course you're going to feel loneliness because you don't have any reason to be loved or feel loved. And you are so loved. And that's why you need to seek inside of yourself and find that truth inside of you, that you deserve value and worth just like everyone else. So what could we do so that we could stop this vicious cycle of this repeat type of individuals and feeling this loneliness and emptiness inside of us? First of all, like I said, silence is medicine. Instead of filling the quietness with distractions, learn to sit with it. Sit with the silence within yourself. Listen to your soul. Take on ways to tune into your soul, like journaling, meditation, prayer, mindful breathing, different breathing techniques for yourself. Start realizing that self-love is wholeness. Loving yourself is not an endpoint. It's the ongoing process of integration. Create moments of intentional silence. Do like yoga, a spa day, maybe a morning ritual like you're working out, or you're listening to different meditation podcasts, or just different ways to basically fuel yourself with your worthiness and your value. Ask yourself, why do you feel the need? Like, what draws you the need to keep having another person in your life to make you feel whole? What is it that you can seek within yourself to feel whole? Replace self-criticism with self-compassion. Those silence is basically wanting you to recognize. Instead of always seeking a negative or a way to react, why don't you seek within yourself a positive thing and view yourself with affirmations and motivation and inspiration, and see that you are perfect. Create a positive mindset. It seems that a lot of times with abuse, and as I've stated in the past, abuse is not just physical, it's mental, it's emotional. When you are constantly put in those atmospheres and being put down, it's unfortunate, but your mind becomes trained to seek the negativity of situations. I know for myself personally, there were so many times people would come to me and say, wow, that's such a nice sweater or such a nice blouse. And I would look at them and say, oh, thank you. Oh, but I have this like ugly hole right here. And I would point out something that was like a flaw in myself, because it was like I couldn't take the compliments because I was so used to being beat down and told that I wasn't good enough. So I had to have self-compassion and start taking compliments as they are, of thankfulness and gratefulness that someone took the time out of their day to give me a compliment, versus trying to veer it towards something else like my ugly shoes, or a hole in the sleeve, or whatever it is that was a flaw for me. And it's okay to have desire, but are you desiring to feel worthy? Is that why you're looking and seeking for others? Or are you desiring for reciprocity? Reciprocity is so needed in every relationship, because each individual has to feel wanted, valued, respected. And this is why conversations are so important. And this is why being alone and in solitude and finding your whole authenticity and completeness is so very important. Because if you don't know what you want, and if you can't fully say right now that I feel so whole, whether I'm with somebody or I'm not with somebody, then you need to sit on your own and you need to do some real inner work, and find your true happiness and your true love of your own self. Relationships, whether they're intimate relationships, friendships, family relations, any, work relationships are built off of authenticity. So if you have something from the past that is constantly tearing you down, maybe something that you feel is making you feel worthless or not valued, or any of those situations, and you're constantly projecting that fear or that, whatever it is, that loss or whatever, fill in the void. If you're constantly having that in the back of your mind and you haven't filled that situation to where you have come to terms with it, then when you're building these relations with people, the reason that you keep finding yourself in emptiness or loneliness, or not feeling that your void is basically being complete, is because you're not authentic. You're not finding your true self and what makes you happy and makes you feel whole. So you're already starting these relations off of basically brokenness. You're not coming to the table and being your true self. And that's what needs to be given on both parts. So you can't have someone that is, you're seeking authenticity to them, but you're actually not being authentic to yourself. So they're trying to basically be a companion to someone that is not whole anyway. So it's not even the real you. So how do you do this? How do you fix this? Communication. An upfront conversation has to be set every single time. And I'm not saying a telephone conversation. I'm not saying a text message conversation. This needs to be a face-to-face, where you can see facial expressions, you can read body language, a face-to-face, one-on-one conversation stating, where do you see our relations going? What are your expectations for me? These are expectations and boundaries for myself. You need to stick to your boundaries. If you don't lay down your boundaries, your authenticity, or overall expectations and goals, you're just setting yourself up for wasted time, for wasted pressure, for wasted feelings. You got to be on the same page, because if you have two different end goals and it's not being discussed or communicated up front, then what is the point? There was just a few months ago, I had spoke to a gentleman, and, we really hit it off with just talking to one another, and he lives in a different state. And we had a conversation like, hey, really all we could be is friends, because you're never going to move from your state. I'm not going to move anytime soon from my state. I have children here. So really, why open that can of worms of even going into the dating field and trying to do whatever it is where it's going to have a long distance type relation? So why not just keep it at a friendship level? And that doesn't mean never. It just means not right now. And that's basically what the terms had to be brought to. And it was a mutual understanding, and it actually felt great, because then it wasn't one person wasting another person's time. And here, what if feelings became so wonderful, and then it's like, okay, well, I still can't move by you because I still have children that are in grammar schools. And, obviously my ex isn't going to just sign off on my kids to move out of state and not see him ever again. I mean, it's just not logical. So those are conversations that you have to have with individuals up front. It's out of respect. A huge reason of being put in silence and having to find your wholeness in yourself is because you have to really know what your desires are. You have to feel so whole within yourself that when you bring whatever to the table, it's true, it's authentic, it's what you want, it's your needs. Because if you're confused your own self, really, are you understanding what you want? So how could you expect someone else to give you something fully when you're not even really sure what you want? Like, I remember when I went through my trauma, and afterwards I thought that I had to date right away, but really it's just I had to break a codependency attachment. And as I started to conveniently talk to people, I found myself like, okay, this person wants to commit to me. And here it was like, they're on a commitment. I'm on just like a convenient trying to get over my ex, trying to feel better about myself. Like, now is that a desire, a passion? Like, a lot of people are conveniently dating. They are happy by themselves, and they don't want to pursue it into that full ongoing commitment, long-term seeking, 5-year, 10-year plans. Some people are not at that level, or some people even feel that they are, and then once it starts getting to that point, they're getting like cold feet, and they're like, oh my God, I don't think I could do this. So you really have to have these conversations up front, because otherwise you're just wasting time. And then one person falls into lust and it's just for fun, and the other person falls into desire and passion and long term, and then now you're on two different pages. I mean, the standards have to be set straight. And in order to do this, you have to be in silence. You have to be in a loneliness period. And it's not loneliness, it's discovering yourself. It's not silence to reprimand you, it's silence to rebuild you. Ask yourself, what is silence trying to teach you about loving today? Why are you even dating or seeking another individual? Is it fear? Is it to be liked, to feel loved? Is it validation? Is it to be seen? Or is it really just because you're bored? What is it that you could do or seek within yourself for the reasoning to even want to fill the void of the loss that you have? You see, a partner is someone that isn't to do for you, they are to do with you. You are to complete yourself, and a partner is to complement oneself. So basically, you want a partner who is going to run with you and build with you as well. Not someone that's going to tear you down or just fill a hole or even be less than, so that you can have validation for your own self. Thank you so much for joining me today. Remember, it is not loneliness, it's discovering. And in closing, remember your silence is not proof of your emptiness. It's the womb for your becoming. When you learn to love yourself fully and you don't just fill the silence, you transform it into wholeness, into your complete self and your authentic self. And that way, everything that is meant for you will attract towards you because they are in the same world that you are in as far as your likes and your loves and your wants and your needs. And when something is true, it comes in peace. It doesn't feel pressured or that you have to change yourself. There should not be one thing that you need to change about yourself that another isn't accepting of you, because when you fill yourself to your wholeness, individuals that veer towards you, they have the same wants and needs and likes and and all of that stuff. Everything is the same type of fulfillment for them. So there's really not anything that you or the other person need to change to be yourself. I mean, you both accept each other for your true authenticity. And that's what real love is about. And of course, I'm not saying that, no, you might not have to change up, waking up at 7 a.m. instead of 9 a.m. I'm not saying small gestures as such. I'm talking about if you have to change your true authentic self, can't go here, can't do this, changing your whole entire life to basically walk on eggshells for another, that's not your true authenticity. And that's why you're brought out of these situations, because you're not being yourself. And the only way that true love can exist is by being happy. And that is by being yourself and being whole and finding your oneness within you. And that wraps up today's episode. Thank you so much for joining me today. And remember, you can't fill anyone's cup until you fill your own. So it's time that you find your true authentic self, your oneness, your wholeness, your completeness. And from there on, God will provide as He always does, and you will find that true love. So do the work and find peace within yourself, and everything else will fall right into place. Much love.